Okay, we should be recording. We're going to play a little Darkest Dungeon. I wanted to record the. Apparently, I got a very, very rare event, town event, which I couldn't quite figure out how to do what I was trying to do, so I wanted to record that just for fun. I played this game when it first came out. I wish I would have saved some of my original play games because I've deleted them. Actually, I guess I could maybe go into my Steam library. Maybe I have some screenshots, possibly. But I've been playing this game for a very long time, but I'm still pretty awful at it. It takes a lot of strategy, and I think the one thing about the Darkest Dungeon that's kind of interesting is that your characters are going to die, and no matter how much you baby them and you don't want them to die. And I love I love MMOs, so I get attached to my characters very quickly, and they just keep dying, and so you're like, oh no, don't die. It definitely hurts a little bit. So it's one of those games where unfortunately, no matter how much you try to save your characters, it isn't always so easy. So, but what I got was I got this town event called. Well, I'll just show it to you when it shows up here. From Beyond, which apparently is extremely rare. You can see that I've really, even though I've played Dark Dungeon quite a bit, I've never really gotten much higher than level 4 or 5 because honestly I've struggled with some of the events, the mobs and stuff, and because I'm such a perfectionist about things that when I die and lose people, I'll start the game over, because I want to go back and do it and not die, and I keep starting over and over, and of course that's stupid because in this game it's tricky not to die. You do tend to die a lot, so. And so then I got interested in other video games along the way, but I've come back and I started playing again. They've since added so much to the game. It's a lot different game than it was when I played it, years ago. Because I've literally started playing it probably, I would imagine, a couple years ago. I don't really remember. It's been a while. So here, From Beyond, by Hateful Curse or Malign Miracle, it seems even death may be defiled in this damnable place. Only one of these soldiers can be returned to the living, and you can see that it's giving me an option of 3 people that have died during the course of my playing this particular save game. And you can just click on them, double click or right click, I guess, to see who they are. And of course, this was just a level 1, a cleric, or what do they call them, a vestal? It's like a cleric. She died just recently. She was just died in the mission I was just in. And then here's another level 0 vestal that died. I love vestals, so they tend to die quite a bit. But here is now this again, it's only level 0, but this one actually did have some nice, she did have a chance to turn any miss into a hit. That's interesting. She did have a couple interesting quirks, and she only had witness, which is not bad. That's nothing. Won't take part in prayer. So obviously out of these 3, and it's hard for whatever reason in this particular game, I've been having a hard time getting the grave robbers to show up in my in my stagecoach here, which is when people appear here, and I keep upgrading it so I get more people showing up, so I have a chance. Because I really love. I like to make my characters out of novels that I've read. I'm a big fantasy lover, so I'll give them names of characters from novels. Here's Cheryl. Is from Sword of Shannara, I believe. And on a couple of other ones, Gareth Bryn is also from the Wheel of Time. Egwin's from Wheel of Time. Rain's from Wheel of Time. And so I get attached to these characters. And so this one actually was interesting. She died. Let's see, where is it? This one here died. And since I have been having a hard time getting these particular grave robbers to show up in my stagecoach, I'm going to go ahead and grab her. But I couldn't figure out how to resurrect her, to bring her back. So I had to go to YouTube and find a guy who had a video to show exactly what I'm showing right now. And all he did was drag it. I couldn't believe all he did was drag. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And you just drag it over. So that's kind of an interesting little event. And if you've never played the Darkest Dungeon, it's a super, super great game. There's a lot of strategy in how you organize your characters and your parties. I'm not going to do a video of all of that right now because it's Sunday and I actually just want to play, and I got some laundry going that I have to fold here in a minute. But maybe I'll come back and do a video later this week. I'm starting to creating my own video game, and interesting enough, it's called The Land of Vosslar, which is the name of my state here. But so I'm spending a lot of time making my own video game, and so my YouTube channel is going to turn into me just recording videos for that. The steps I'm going through, the things I'm doing, learning the 3D animation. A lot of stuff I already know, but having to actually learn the concept of creating stuff for a video game is a lot different. It's a massive project, but so I think that's going to be a lot of fun if I can get off my ass and. I'm a computer programmer, so I work hard during the day programming, but when I come home, what I've always wanted to do is make my own video games. So it's something I'm definitely very into right now, and I'm hoping over the next couple of years I can get something done. But anyways, so I just thought it was neat to show that how you can bring people back from the dead. And apparently that's ultra rare that people can play this game for a very long time and actually never see that town event. So every time you go out on a mission, you come back. There'll be a lot of times there's a town event, like maybe the armor is giving away, free upgrades, which is kind of nice. You go in here and drop a guy, and he'll maybe upgrade your to your next level for free, stuff like that. Sometimes you can go in and get drunk at the bar for it doesn't cost you as much money, or maybe free, or the effectiveness of it. It cures more of your stress level than it normally would, stuff like that. And I don't know if because my graveyard's all shiny here, if that's because of the event, because I don't think it normally looks like that. So it's the fact that this person came back from the dead, which is really interesting. And her name's Karen, kind of interesting also, like Karen Eater, which are kind of the things that eat bugs that eat the dead. I'm going to rename her, and I'm going to call her. Afterlife, because she came back from the dead, so now she's living after. Actually, that's backwards, isn't it? So let's call her. Kara. How about Carrie the Undying? Because she just won't die, damn it. I don't like Carrie, though. Kara the Undying. And she came back from the dead. We're going to do a little... Oh, we can't, unfortunately. I wish they would do more colors. It'd be interesting if they could even let you customize the colors. There's a lot of stuff they could add to the Darkest Dungeon, and I hope they will. That could make this game a lot better. I love MMOs, so I very much love customization of characters, and anything that can make your character more unique, I always think is a lot of fun. So we have to be very careful with this one because she came back from the dead, and I think that's kind of cool. So we don't really want her to die again. But once again, people just die in this game, so let's give her the red. Red's kind of cool. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you guys laughed at me being silly, but I think it's just kind of a neat event. And I guess since it's rare, maybe people probably haven't put a lot of videos up on YouTube. I did find the one pretty easily. And maybe, like I said, maybe I'll do some more videos. But if you haven't played the Darkest Dungeon, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's actually an excellent, excellent game. And everybody really should play it.